Some stories deserve to be told only in the dark. Today, we explore three inventions, the product of a single genius, etched into the pages of history like a curse. Millions of deaths, a global decline in intelligence, rising crime, and two catastrophes that changed our world irrevocably. So, who was this man? And why did his own inventions destroy him and all of humanity? Lost secrets and a toxic legacy. Here we go, a single scientist. Three inventions, all of which accidentally led to the deaths of millions, including his own. But it doesn't stop there. These discoveries are linked to a global decrease in average intelligence, a rise in crime rates, and two separate environmental disasters we're still grappling with today. The year is 1944. A young chemist, Claire Patterson, fresh from his master's degree, begins work on the Manhattan Project. His task? Separating the rare uranium-235 for nuclear weapons from the much more common uranium-238. This work, using massive mass spectrometers, unlocked the secrets of the atom and gave him a unique skill set. After the war, Patterson turned this expertise to a much older mystery, the age of the Earth. He knew that radioactive rocks were like cosmic clocks. As uranium decayed into stable lead, the rate of that decay was constant and measurable. His PhD project was to measure the uranium-to-lead ratio in primordial rocks. But something was wrong. His samples were contaminated. The lead measurements were off the charts, many times higher than they should have been. There was extra lead that didn't belong there. This mystery would consume the rest of his life and pit him against one of the most powerful industries in the world. So, where was all this extra lead coming from? To answer that, we have to go back to 1908. A man in Detroit stopped to help a woman whose car had stalled. In those days, cars were started with a hand crank. He turned the crank, the engine roared to life unexpectedly, and the handle flew back, striking him in the face and killing him. That man was Byron Carter, founder of his own car company. Devastated by his friend's death, Cadillac founder Henry Leland vowed to eliminate the dangerous hand crank. He hired an inventor named Charles Kettering, and by 1911, the world had its first crankless car. But this powerful new engine had a new problem, a loud, damaging rattling known as engine knocking. In these high-performance engines, the fuel would ignite before the spark plug fired, creating chaotic pressure waves that could destroy the engine. The solution was to find an additive that made the fuel more stable. Kettering gave this task to a 27-year-old engineer named Thomas Midgley Jr. Midgley tried everything, from melted butter to aluminum chloride. He even tried a compound called tellurium, which worked, but its smell was so foul he was banished to the basement by his wife for 7 months. Then, on December 3, 1921, Midgley found it, Tetraethyl Lead. It stopped the knock, it was cheap, and only a tiny amount was needed. He excitedly told his boss, "Can you imagine how much money we're going to make with this?" They formed the Ethyl Corporation with some of America's largest companies and cleverly marketed their new additive as just ethyl, never mentioning the word lead. Demand exploded, but within months of a new plant opening, dozens of workers fell ill with lead poisoning. 5 died. To quell the public outcry, Midgley held a press conference. He poured tetraethyl lead over his hands and inhaled its fumes for a full minute, claiming he could do it daily without harm. The truth? He had just spent months secretly recovering from severe lead poisoning himself in Florida. Lead is a neurotoxin. It mimics calcium in our bodies, so we can't easily get rid of it. The brain is its primary target, causing headaches, memory loss, and in children, permanent learning disabilities and behavioral problems. Its dangers had been known for centuries. Top doctors from MIT, Harvard, and Yale warned it was a creeping and malicious poison and a serious menace to public health. Their warnings were ignored. By the 1950s, leaded gasoline was everywhere, and that lead dust was contaminating Claire Patterson's lab, making it impossible for him to get an accurate measurement for the age of the Earth Suspecting widespread environmental contamination, Patterson built the world's first ultra-clean room, even tearing out lead-soldered wires and wearing a full-body suit. Finally, free from contamination, he analyzed ancient meteorites and successfully calculated the Earth's age, 455 billion years. A monumental scientific achievement. But now, he turned his full attention to the source of the contamination that had plagued him. Patterson measured lead levels in the ocean, finding they were nearly 10 times higher at the surface than in the deep. The pollution was recent. To find out just how recent, he traveled to Greenland and Antarctica. Ice cores, which preserve ancient atmospheric samples, showed him the history of lead in the air. He could see the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. He could see the dip caused by the Black Death, and then a massive, unprecedented spike in the 20th century, perfectly timed with the introduction of tetraethyl lead. What did this do to people? Patterson compared the bones of modern Americans to 1,600-year-old Egyptian mummies. He found modern bones contained nearly 1,000 times more lead. Studies on children's baby teeth revealed that even exposure levels once considered safe led to lower IQs and behavioral problems. We now know there is no safe level of lead. It's estimated that lead poisoning may be responsible for the loss of over 800 million IQ points worldwide. There's an even more disturbing correlation. Violent crime in the U.S. rose steadily from the 60s to the early 90s, then suddenly dropped. This curve almost perfectly mirrors the data for childhood lead exposure, just shifted forward by 20 years. Did children exposed to lead grow up to be more violent? The same pattern appears in Britain, Canada, Australia, and many other countries. A 2018 study estimated that in the U.S. alone, lead pollution was responsible for 250,000 deaths from heart disease every year. Globally, the total death toll from leaded gasoline could be close to 100 million people. And Thomas Midgley wasn't done. After his success with lead, he was tasked with finding a safe refrigerant gas. In 1928, he invented Freon. To demonstrate its safety, he famously inhaled a lungful of the gas and used it to blow out a candle. These chemicals, CFCs, became ubiquitous. But being so stable, they drifted into the stratosphere, where UV radiation broke them apart, releasing chlorine atoms that destroyed the ozone layer. This created the hole in the ozone layer, increasing rates of skin cancer. Historian John McNeill wrote that Midgley had more impact on the atmosphere than any other single organism in Earth's history. In 1940, at age 51, Midgley contracted polio. Ever the inventor, he designed a complex system of ropes and pulleys to help him get out of bed. On November 2, 1944, he became entangled in his own invention and was strangled to death. Thanks to the relentless, decades-long battle waged by Claire Patterson, the world finally accepted the truth. The lead in our air, our oceans, and our bodies was not natural. Leaded gasoline was finally banned globally, with the last country stopping its sale in 2021. The UN estimates this ban saves over 1 million lives every single year. The story of Thomas Midgley and Claire Patterson is a powerful reminder of how one person's actions can cause immense harm and another's integrity can help heal the world. And subscribing for more deep dives into science and history. See you next time.